want to be clear when I say that the exact same antagonist that I already explained and went on court record and reported to a judge, and went to law enforcement in every town and reported, and spoke about here online, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook Live, on my personal phone associated with about 7 or 8 different iClouds. They have began to repeat those things since they forced Xavier and I out of my apartment at 1055 Granville, apartment number 207, Chicago, Illinois. I have a lease through May of 2027. They did the exact format. They brought people who were not employees of any criminal justice system, were not law enforcement agents, were not judges. They dressed them as if they were judges or police. They told us that we had to go. They filed a fake eviction. I looked up the judge's name. They switched the judge 2 or 3 times. I emailed the sheriffs in a cancel eviction form. And I have those emails as well. And we were in compliance to stay there until May of 2027, when abruptly we were crushed by nepotism and what I could only refer to as incest would be what I would call it. So in a space that I have fought tooth and nail to peacefully exist in, I want to go over what I've done every single day since I moved into that apartment. I went to visit my son Weston. Xavier and I did. I tried going to the gym, but I was stalked, harassed, and bullied out of the gym. Despite that fact, they stole fraudulently another approximately 4 months of membership fees, even though I wasn't able to go because I was bullied out of the gym. And today is August, I believe, 16th, 2026, and my name is Heather Gillespie, FTR. So they follow format where they have been calling me names, attempting to make me feel ugly or fat, or forcing my awareness onto subject matter that I have already given record has caused me to feel insecure or not as good as, or less than, or ugly, or dumb, etc. And they have done absolutely nothing to prevent these individuals from continuing to follow me. They've separated me 2 weeks after they threw me out of my apartment for the second time, unlawfully and without cause. They began to threaten to take away my vehicle. And then they took my Grubhub, DoorDash, Instacart, Uber, and Lyft all offline. So I have not been able to make any money at all. They will not allow me to get a job stripping. They will not allow me to work as a sex worker or escort. They will not allow me to sell drugs. They will not allow me to get a job in an office. They will not allow me to work as a CEO. They will not allow me to work as a healthcare consultant. They will not allow me to do any of the things that I have invested the last 40 years of intelligence, education, employment, experience into earning is the key word. I was not living in a mansion in the hills. I was not living in a Hinsdale mansion. I was not even living in a small home in Little Italy. I was living in a 1 single bedroom studio apartment with a bathtub that didn't even have a working shower, paying over $1,000 a month for that building, or for that apartment. And I woke up every day between 5 and 9 a.m., depending on who was oppressing us that day, what regime was being oppressive that day. And I went directly to my vehicle, took care of my visits, checked on my other 3 children, and then went and worked for a 6 to 14 hour shift every single fucking day. Every single day. Without exception. Period. For the last 4 weeks, I have been subjected to numerous antagonists. I was able to meet a guy who was able to help me with some hope for a different capacity personal driving and assisting position. My hope was that I could make ties with affluent individuals, families, celebrities, performers, etc., who fly private and who would be in the area for short periods of stay between 3 days and 3 weeks, and that I could create contractual agreements with those individuals to be their primary driver, park outside of wherever they stay, take them where they need to go, handle any of their paperwork, handle any of their arguing, handle any of their lines of questioning, paparazzi, handle any of their appearances, handle any of their errands, if they needed groceries, if they needed a toothbrush, if they needed clothing, if they needed a friend, to be the person's everything in an exchange for a fair rate. I deemed a fair rate would be about $5,000 per week. I incentivized my person at the airport who I was speaking with into allowing me to use him as a reference, or not reference, my apologies, as a referring coworker, if you will, by offering him 20% of all of the work that was paid to me booked through his initial referral only upon the first referral. So if I made a relationship with someone in which they decided to come to Chicago 7 or 8 times and continue to book with me, he would only get paid on the original introduction, which makes sense, right? He's not my booking agent. In that case, I would be asking him for a referral. Hey, if you tell these people about my service and they book me even for a $300 day, I'll give you $60 of that. How does that sound? 20%. Oh, Heather, that sounds great. What the fuck? Thank you so much. I appreciate your generosity. You mean all I have to do is mention how fucking fabulous you are and you're going to give me $60? Yeah, that's right. Wow. What a great opportunity. Thank you very much. Right? So anyways, nothing has come of that. I've not gotten a single job of that. I've applied at fucking gas stations to work inside of a plastic bubble. I have more than a bachelor's degree of education, 10 plus years in healthcare, consulting, marketing, sales. Go to my website, GoPro Solo, and you could see it on there. Go to my Instagram main page and click on any of my Model Mayhem portfolio. There are a million things that I can do. Some of them I do in a way that's acceptable, but not the best in the demographic. Others of them I do that is the best of anyone who's ever fucking tried. I would argue that being everyone's everything, I am doing a great job. To my children, to my family, to my employer, to myself, I have always stepped up. Unless there is some very strong external force that is actively not permitting me to do the things I need to do, as in sanctions, can't move my arms and legs type shit. And if you know, you know. And if you don't, you fucking don't. Keep it moving. Yeah, that's what's been going on. So I have had to ask strangers like a fucking hype at the fucking gas station for gas money so that I don't run out of gas. Today I was awoken at 5 a.m. by a tow truck in front of my vehicle and moved my vehicle out of the way, and he went and kidnapped someone else's vehicle. Okay? The pain in my chest that I experienced when I opened my eyes, I do not need to go through all of the traumatic situations I have already endured so that I can escape or heal from them. I have already written a deposition and numerous, very lengthy conversations about what cures trauma and post-traumatic stress, as well as what exposure therapy really is. Your fucking scientists or the children that you've deemed acceptable parties to creating this solution are fucking idiots. They're the dumbest. They're abusive. They're awful. They're ugly. Keep them away from me. All of the Ernicas, fuck off. I formally terminated my relationship with Ernika as a result to gaslighting. I said, quote, in writing, thank you for your service. I will be, hold on. My exact words to Ernika were, I do not consent to this. Please discontinue communication with me immediately. Thank you for your service. That is in writing. Period. I wrote dissertations. I studied trauma. I personally endured and cured myself. If you are looking for someone to practice with, I highly suggest you write a little blog post letting the world know that you have an interest in harming other people so that you can fuck with them to see what works and making them normal again, and then being subjected to the higher power coming down and doing that to you. Get it together or get the fuck off of this planet. There are innocent people who live here. This planet is ruled by civilians primarily. What is the root word in the word civilian? Civil. That means you have to be a good person, meaning you don't fuck with other people. Stop fucking around. So anyways, back to the discussion where I was telling you guys that it was heartbreaking for me what I was going through with regards to being separated from my family members, specifically, first and foremost, my 4 children, Viviana, Lewis, Alexis, and Weston. And that the reasoning behind it was so skewed and so misrepresented that it has gotten in my way on a number of occasions with regards to seeking external forms of employment or having any stability post that set of circumstances. Now, I told you all, someone was like, no, you don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. You want to be Meryl Streep in the movie Devil Wears Prada. Listen, or a combination Meryl Streep, Leonardo DiCaprio, Wolf on Wall Street. Listen, hear me out. I have said this probably 100,000 times, and I'm going to go ahead and make it 101,000 times. I want to lay in a bed that feels like a cloud with a man who loves me. I want to put my head on his shoulder, and I want to lay right there for a long time until I get so bored of that I wake up, at which point in time I might need to use the restroom or have a little snack or watch a movie, and then I'd like to go back in the same position to sleep on his shoulder. The only time I want to wake up is to go and have, if needed, a little bit of age preservation, or heaven forbid we're running low on any resource, gather the resource. Ideally, he would be able to get the resources himself, and I would not have to worry about that. So that is what I've wanted out of life for the last, since this abuse began in 2016 with the David Shepard extortion, where I was extorted by a detective of the law named David Shepard, where he forced me under threat of harm to my children to collect evidence against a group of individuals that Dylan seemed to have a pretty good hook into. Prior to that happening, as you know, I was an office manager and the administrator for Northwestern's administrative departments of endocrine and rheumatology, specifically the branch of NMFF CLSMA. There were 3 conversions and 3 changes of ownership during the years that I worked there. When I began working there, it was CLSMA, Chicago Lakeshore Medical Associates, at the 676 North St. Clair Arcus Pavilion, Suite 20, floor 20, suite G. My office was just above the Nike check mark. From Michigan Avenue, you could look up to me and see the Nike check mark and then my office. Okay? So why doesn't everyone with any questions or nasty shit to say about me do us all a favor and fucking die? Great. Thank you very much. Now that we've got them gone, I can get back to it. So prior to deciding to have a career in healthcare, I wanted to just be a mom and a wife. Go figure, right? How ironic. This is the Quartz Plus. How many of you have been present for my discussions of which I say, you guys have audacity putting my son, Weston, into this grotesque system and putting me into this grotesque system. I said, at 11 years old, 11, I was at this place, Quartz Plus, getting my certified babysitter's license, learning CPR, babysitting every child in my peer group, in my family structure, in my social structure. Taking care of my children as the primary custodial parent from the moment of their births all the way until, guess who came home? Dylan. For anyone who believes that I have some unfair obsession with this set of circumstances in my life, I'd like you to understand that this set of circumstances in my life is what fucking destroyed any and all stability that I had. Combine that with the slanderous, unlawful narrative with regards to my mental health or the lack thereof, and you've got yourself grounds for a pretty fucking fat-ass civil lawsuit. Now add in the fact that I had been used as a mole, an intelligence-gathering human being, by my government since I was an underage minor and unable to even fucking consent. Sounds like another lawsuit. But rather than getting assistance for any of that, they keep putting me in my fucking car on the side of the goddamn road. And Xavier is sleeping on the fucking sidewalk next to my car. They won't let him in the car. He's having some sort of weird issues throughout the night, waking up fucking freaking out in some sort of identity crisis, trying to open my door, open the trunk. He has nothing in the trunk. He thinks that he does. He's confused. He's irrational. He's turned sexually, weird at times, in a way that I can't protect myself from. So, but I keep asking, do you want to sleep in the car? Do you want to sleep in the car? And they won't let him. Today, a man stopped with his scooter to speak with Xavier and I, and after the tow truck thing, and Xavier looked at him. Xavier is a man, heterosexual. He looked at him with these eyes and like blinking and like eyelashes, and Xavier is not gay. He swears up and down. I've never seen him act gay. He always acts manly. It's almost as if a woman was playing the role of my husband, Xavier. That's the best way I could describe it. The way she was looking at this guy, I guess he's some famous poker player, and he's going to go play poker on Michigan Avenue and, what did he say? Michigan and 10th, maybe? Later on tonight. He's here for the Water show, Aaron Water show. Yeah, he looks famous. He says he's a famous poker player. His wife doesn't have to work because that's how successful he is at playing poker. Isn't that wild? It's wild, right? I told him I've never played poker before, but that I have played roulette, and I have done pretty well at roulette. I do enjoy a good roulette game every now and again, as long as it's not Russian. Anyway, with that being said, I just wanted to give you guys a tour here in my hometown of the Quartz Plus. This is where I did most of my childhood here at Elmhurst. The Quartz Plus is here. It is the place where I had taken the Babysitters Club licensing. And, after what you people have done to me with my own children, I got to tell you, fuck the kids, man. I am tired of being around kids, especially someone else's. Keep all your fucking miserable kids the fuck away from me. please. I'm so tired of kids. I don't want anything to do with them unless they're my own. Don't fucking ask me to babysit for you. Don't come and offer me a job as a nanny, taking care of your fucking kids. They won't even let me see my own kids. You think I want to see your fucking kids, but I can't go see my kids? No, I don't. What else did I want to mention? I don't know. They seem to steal my friend at the airport who was helping me a little bit. They seem to steal his line of communication to me. And I can sense his tone and context, and I can sense when it's not him. So that's weird. And then the same thing with Xavier, but Xavier usually speaks in the same context at this point. Just different gender orientations, which is fucking undesirable AF. You have no idea. There is nothing in this world that turns me off sexually more than feeling safe and protected by my husband and then seeing him look like a little bitch. I can't, it's awful for me. It feels my body rejects it. With that being said, you know that I've always loved the gays. So I don't have any issue with homosexuality, just not for my husband, please and thanks. And what else did I want to mention while I was here? I don't know. I think that's it. I got Maggiano's last night. Xavier brought me Maggiano's last night. Love you. Thanks, babe. Little pieces of Italian sausage with rigatoni and a piece of breaded chicken. So that was good. I ate half last night and half this morning. I would say that was the most calories I've had in one single sitting in probably close to 3 months, maybe 6. And I haven't had more than, that in an entire day. And the same. So I felt really, really heavy after I ate half last